In this video, we're gonna talk about the 9 bat speed killers. And if you're doing one of these 9 things or more than one of these 9 things, you need to fix it, because if you do fix it, you're gonna increase your bat speed, your exit velocity, and your overall hitting power very quickly. So the first bat speed killer that I see a lot with especially young players is they got a very bad setup. When they get set up here, they're very stiff, they're very tall, they're unathletic. They're just starting from like a dead stop, a standstill. So we have to have them feel loose, feel athletic, feel strong, right? So we got to get them into a good athletic stance. A couple of things you want to think about for a good athletic stance is to, first of all, bend your knees, obviously, keep your chest over your toes, keep the weight on the balls of the feet, but also keep the knees knocked in just a little bit. Not too much, we don't want to force them in, and we definitely don't want to have them out. I see a lot of kids kind of stacked out over their ankles, knees over their ankles. We don't want that. We want the knees slightly inside of the feet so we can have this in and out movement, right? Because a swing is about driving and rotation, right? That's what a good athletic stance looks like. Have a little bit of wiggle into it, right? One good way to explain this to young players is to be as if they were playing defense in basketball, right? This is how we want to be. We want to be nice and strong and athletic, knock the knees in a tiny bit, bring the bat up, and we're ready to go. The second bat speed killer is the lack of leg drive or no leg drive in the swing, right? And I see a lot of hitters, when they start to swing, they have no drive in their backside. They're very rotational, right? They have no drive off their back leg. If you know anything about physics, creating energy is about, driving the earth away from us. We want to create an equal and opposite reaction, right? So if we're pushing energy into the earth this way, we should be creating energy going away from it that way, right? And that's what leg drive does. And that's what starts the energy in the swing. We want to create that energy through the ground force, right? So we want to be able to put force into that back leg and drive off of it. I see a lot of kids, they don't do that. They just get here and they think about spinning, and they're kind of just spinning on that back foot. You hear a lot of coaches talk about squish the bug, squash the bug, whatever, but there's no drive in that instance. So we first want to focus on driving off that back leg before we get into our rotation, right? You'll see a lot of great hitters, when they hit, their back foot will actually come forward and recoil here. They'll actually gain a little bit of ground on their back foot. So it's very important to get that leg drive. Bat speed killer number 3 is having a slow turn. Now, we talked about the leg drive, but we also talked a little bit about rotation being the next aspect of creating energy, right? What I see a lot of young players doing is not having a quick enough turn. Their turn is very slow and it's very long and it's very unathletic, right? So we have to work on having a good turn, a good rotational energy, right? So what we want to focus on with our turn or creating rotational energy first is to have a good axis, right? When we're swinging, we don't want to be straight up and down, because if we're just trying to have a turn straight up and down, our axis is this way. It's very short and very level, right? We don't want to do that. We want to create an axis to swing around. Our axis is our spine, our body angle, right? So we create that axis, and then we can swing around that axis, and we're gonna have good swing plane, and we're gonna be able to hit more balls harder, more line drives this way if we have a good axis to swing around. So that's the first thing. The second thing is we have to train to get faster through our rotational energy, through our swing plane, right? Medicine ball drills is a great one to really help us get stronger and faster through this movement. Bat speed killer number 4 is having a long swing. And what I mean by a long swing is getting away from your body with your hands. You see this all the time. If you do create good rotational energy, you've been doing your medicine ball drills and you're stronger and you're faster in your turn, what happens is sometimes the hands will get away from the body because you got that lag of energy, right? You've got a good explosive energy here, but then the hands want to go away from the body. The way I like to talk about it is like a flagpole, right? If you're running with a flag this way, the flag is going to be blowing behind the pole this way. Same thing in our swing. If we're creating a lot of rotational energy, our hands want to go away from our body naturally. That's what the energy is telling it to do, but we don't want to do that, because then we're going to have a long, slow swing, right? That's a bat speed killer right there. So what we want to focus on is staying short and connected to our body. We want to have this back elbow tucked into our body and go for a ride around that axis with us, so we can swing it fast and create that energy. A great drill that you can use to work on a shorter swing and not having a long swing with your arms out is the fence drill. All you want to do is set up a tee right next to the fence. You're going to put your bat on your stomach and then line the end of the bat up with the fence. Your tee should line up in about the sweet spot right here. And then you're just going to get set up and take swings off of that tee without trying to hit the fence with your bat. So you really got to stay short and connected with your swing and hit that ball. And you want to hit that ball straight in line with the fence, line drive right up the middle. It's a great way to really focus on working on a short swing and not getting away from your body with your hands. The fifth bat speed killer is having a soft front side. And I actually see coaches teach this a lot, which I don't understand because it's taking away from our bat speed, it's taking away from our energy. We're actually leaking a lot of the energy that we created earlier in the swing if we have a soft front side. What I mean by a soft front side is when we're swinging, our front knee is bent and we kind of stay bent and soft. You'll see a lot of guys with soft front side, when they land and they swing, their leg will be bent. They kind of roll out this way and they're just real not very strong, not very stable with their front leg. What you want to have is a front leg, what I call a front leg fulcrum. You want to have that fulcrum point where it sticks into the ground, it's hard, and then all of your energy can be transferred through your kinetic chain the way you want it to be, right? The way I think of it is, if you hit against that front leg hard and your energy goes, oh, we can't go out this way, it's going to continue to travel up your body and go, oh, hey, here comes some hands that are coming through the zone. Let's take that energy and go through that way. But if you're being soft on your front side, some of that energy is going to leak out here and you're not going to be able to transfer all of it through your hands. So we have to be strong on our front leg. It should be, when we land, about 45 to 65 degrees open with our front foot. Let's say if I'm swinging straight at you, 45 to 65 degrees open with our front foot. And then as we get to our contact point, our knee is actually going to track back and we're going to be strong and straight, and we're going to create that leverage into the ground so that we don't leak any of our energy. And this actually helps our hips get around, because if we're soft here, we don't have anything pushing this front hip back, right? But if we're strong, this actually pushes our front hip back, which helps our backside get through. It gives us a little bit more rotational energy. So not only are we leveraging the energy, but we're creating a little bit more rotational energy as well. There's a great drill that you could do that I call the flamingo drill. All you're gonna do is you're gonna get set up and you're gonna set up a tee and you're just gonna take swings off of the tee. You wanna have a strong front leg. You're gonna actually land on one foot. Your backside's gonna come up. You wanna come up into your front leg a little bit and then recoil back, and you're gonna look like a flamingo on one leg if you're doing it right. So that's a great drill to work on, really feeling what your front leg should be like in the swing to leverage your energy, create more rotational energy, and have good bat speed. The sixth bat speed killer is you're just not explosive enough. You're not an athlete, you're not fast, right? And we wanna focus on being an athlete first, okay? A lot of times we focus on a lot of the mechanical stuff in the swing, which is good because you can get a lot of bat speed, exit velocity, and pure power out of your mechanics. But if you're just not athletic, you're not strong enough, you're not explosive enough, you're never gonna be able to put enough energy into those mechanics to get out of what you're trying to get out of them. So you really wanna get into the gym, start doing squats, right? Plyometrics, sprints, core stuff, medicine ball stuff. These are all super important for being an explosive athlete. The energy that you put into the gym off of the field is gonna directly translate to the amount of energy that you can put through your swing and transfer through your kinetic chain, right? So that's gonna help increase your bat speed so much. Bat speed killer number 7 is a lack of mobility. And what I see a lot of young players doing, and even older players, they have a lack of hip mobility, thoracic spine mobility, in creating energy in the swing. If you're stacked with your knees over your ankles and you have a hard time really having some internal rotation of the hips, you're never gonna be able to put yourself into a good spot to create that energy. So if you're lacking in mobility, you really gotta focus on some of the stretches that can help you open up those hips or open up that thoracic spine so you could have that good rotation through your core, right? Bat speed killer number 8 is you're not training specifically for bat speed or exit velocity. One great way that you can focus on increasing your bat speed is by doing overload and underload training. This is just swinging a heavier bat, your regular size bat, and then a lighter bat. So what you want to do for this drill is start with your heavy bat. You can start on one knee, swinging your heavy bat. After you get a few swings in, then you can go to your regular size bat. Then you want to drop down to your light size bat. One thing to remember is you want to have good intent when you're doing these swings. We're not just going through the motions. We want to swing this bat as fast as possible. After we get through with our knee swings, we can stand up to our regular stance. We start with the heavy bat, then go to the regular bat, and then go to the lighter bat. And then we can progress this drill even further and go into Happy Gilmore swings, where we're actually moving our stance and getting our whole body into the swing and really being super aggressive with the energy that we're creating through these swings. Start with the heavy bat, go to your regular size bat, and then finish with the lighter bat. And last but not least, bat speed killer number 9, and it comes down to your mindset. You have to have the mindset of that you want to swing the bat fast, right? If you're just up there going through the motions and say, oh, I got to make contact and just trying to get to contact, then you're never going to swing that bat very fast, right? You have to have that set in your mind, like, I'm about to crush this ball, especially when you're practicing, because a lot of the benefits that you get are going to come from your practice. And if you're practicing very aggressively in your swing, those are going to translate into the game. Now, I'm not saying in the game that you got to take big old daddy hacks every time a ball is thrown, right? No. But if you're doing that in practice, you're gonna build the muscle, build the energy, build the bat speed and exit velocity that you need. So when the pitch comes in the game, you can just react and your swing is gonna be a lot quicker on average just because you've been working on it in practice. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Drop down in the comments below. Let me know if you got any comments or questions.